Today, I'll be talking about a very interesting, old yet relevant case in the Nigerian criminal justice system, the case of Rex versus V EBI, decided in 1936 by the West African Court of Appeal. The West African Court of Appeal was the colonial appellate court that served Nigeria, Gambia, Sierra Leone, and Gold Coast, which is the present-day Ghana, till 1954. Now to the background story. On the 30th and 31st of December 1935, when everybody was enjoying the merriment of the Yuletide, it was a different story for the people of Ugep in the present-day Calabar. There was an internecine fighting between the Biko Biko, Upakabi, and the Jima quarters. This fight resulted in the death of two people. One of them was Mr. Etang Usani. Mr. Ebi, who was said to have killed him, was charged for murder. In court, this was the story that was established by evidence. The accused person, Mr. Ebi, was apparently well-to-do and comparatively a very young man who had almost completed his dream house, a concrete and corrugated iron roof house, which was supposed to have been the first in the town, until the fight broke out. On 30th of December, he saw his house almost being reduced to ruins and rubbish before his own eyes, due to no fault of his. He took no part in the quarrel that led to the fight, neither did he partake in it. The night before the fight, he had moved some of his belongings, such as he could, to the house of a friend at a distance away and stayed there. In the morning of the day of the riot, he had come back to salvage the remaining properties, the belongings that were left, and to see what would become of his house when the riot broke out. When the riot resumed, stones were being thrown again to the house, further causing lots of damage. At first, he remained within the house, but after long, out of exasperation, he seized a gun, probably belonging to his brother, went to the veranda, and fired at the fire. The bullet hit Etang Usani, an Opakabi man, and he kissed the word goodbye. The trial court, faced with these facts, convicted Mr. Ebi for the murder of Etang Usani and sentenced him to death. The matter was appealed to the West African Court of Appeal, and this is where it gets interesting. The appellant on appeal argued that the killing was justified because he acted in defense of his property, while the respondent argued against, that even if the court will not return a verdict of murder, manslaughter is inevitable for involuntary killing and the fact that a life has been lost. The West African Court of Appeal, in arriving at a verdict, relied on sections 76 and 77 of the Criminal Code that was enforced as at then, and Russell on crime, which had been approved by an earlier decision of the Court of Criminal Appeal in the case of Rex versus Jose, and held thus. But in defense of a man's house, the owner or his family may kill a trespasser who would forcibly dispossess him of it, in the same manner as he might, by law, kill in self-defense a man who attacks him personally, with this distinction, however, that in defending his house, he need not retreat, as in other cases of self-defense, for that would be giving up his house to his adversary. And on this basis, the West African Court of Appeal discharged Ebi of all murder charges. Before I conclude, it's important to make these clarifications. Rex in this case is another word for the king. In some cases, in colonial matters, criminal cases, you will see the king, the queen. This time it was a king that was reigning in the United Kingdom, which was our colonial master as at then. So the word the king was used, and the Latin word for king is rex. So sometimes you will see R or rex versus so person. just as we have the state or the Federal Republic of Nigeria in present day criminal matters, or sometimes we have the Commissioner of Police. And now the significance of this case is still very much applicable in our present day criminal law. Self-defense, defense of property are valid and exculpatory defenses in murder cases. Though decided by colonial justices, Justice Kingdom, Petrides, and Weber of the West African Court of Appeal, they are just like the cases decided by the present day Court of Appeal of Nigeria. And should I say again that this particular principle of criminal law has now been encoded in our various criminal codes or penal codes applicable in different states in Nigeria and even in federal laws. I'd like to know your views about this case and the applicability of the decisions it sets considering our present day realities in Nigeria. And until I come your way again, I am Oluwagbemiga Alano. Thank you.